Hey, welcome to the False Graves podcast. I'm your host, Frick, the Big Kahuna, shredding waves of light.
And I am Ziffer Man.
And unfortunately, AK Baby Doo, the Lightbringer, and St. John are in a better place now.
Are they in heaven?
Cocaine Island?
Close, Florida.
Oh,
all right,
God, they're in hell.
So tonight we have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Coming to you, striking bolts of light in the darkest of nights. It is your boy, El Jerado. Strike.
The moon and star come to me through fire and war.
Welcome back. We have a very special episode for you guys tonight. I think we're going to start off by, letting you know where El Jerado came from. And the best person to tell this story would be he who discovered him, the Fur Man.
All right, everybody, let me tell you some shit. So, on a drunken stumble one night, I know, crazy for me.
That's wild.
Yeah, I ended up, deep in the woods of Cuba. Now, I'm still foggy on how I got there, but I'm pretty sure I lost a knife fight because I also lost my whiskey canister.
Oh, you didn't lose it, my friend.
You son of a bitch. No. So I ended up stumbling upon this gigantic golden city after 100 miles of just the biggest fuck off bugs you'd ever seen in your entire life. Like ticks the size of your fist.
Dean Withers sized roaches. It's dark out there, I'm sure.
Yeah, and leopards and fucking Cubans. Those are the scariest ones.
Bro, leopards?
Yeah, in Cuba.
They have leopards in Cuba?
Yeah.
I'm from there. I've never seen any leopards. That's where my temple lies. How have I not seen
You're
any
on a
leopards?
big ass fucking hill made of gold. Like, what the fuck do you think they're gonna do?
I heard leopards like to be in the trees, and you think I'd look down upon them and be like, oh, it's a leopard. But I've never seen a leopard.
I'd like to ask, Furman, when you first entered this mysterious temple, what were your surroundings? Just describe the setting.
It was a moss-covered environment with giant mosaics of dark deities and such, and then a huge fuck-off pile of gold. Just massive. And once the moonbeam shone through the door, I see this prick sitting on top of the pile with my shit.
It's a shiny whiskey canister, my guy.
His stuff. Are you a kleptomaniac of sorts? Did you gather all of your treasures and jewels into this temple?
Some people might call me a kleptomaniac. Some people may call me a thief. I call them offerings because I strike people with instantaneous light. Imagine a dark and stormy night. Imagine it, right? It's rain and thunder, and you can't see nothing. But then just out of the darkness, bah! Light strikes the ground and illuminates everything.
Wow.
That is El Jerado right there.
Yeah.
Referring to yourself in the third person, an interesting strategy.
He's going the Macho Man, Randy.
I am
Savage
the
way.
third person. 1, 2, 3.
You got me
Get it
there.
right.
So you are, a person who radiates light. How did you get to the point in your life where you were convinced that the light was better than the darkness?
You see, after a long fall down a very deep pit, you start thinking about your life choices and how they got you to where you're at. And you're like, I don't like this. I don't like feeling negative. I don't like feeling dark. I hate this feeling. And there's only one way to change. Light will not just be casted upon you. You have to seize it. Because if you don't seize it, just like a bolt of lightning. It's gone in a flash.
So you don't see light as something that is a gift, but rather something that has to be taken?
Yes. It is up to you to find the light in your situation, because everybody has a sob story. Everybody has everybody has bad things happen to them in their life.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm coming off of a few of those myself. But you can do you can do one of two things. You can either A, mellow in it and become a very, very sad person. You can bring down your company, your fellow compadres that are around you, even your family. You can all bring them down. Or you can choose to say that despite this dark situation, nothing will break my stride and nothing will slow me down.
It's kind of funny that you say that, whenever it gets stormy, you appear and you just radiate light that dissipates the clouds, the cumulonimbus, if you will. And I see in the chat that St. John has informed us that where they are, it is dark and extremely stormy right now. It sounds like you're needed in a better place.
Luckily, you have me here.
Even through
flashing light through the waves
of
the camera.
So that's how we got the plane derailed. Man, I knew it. I knew there was a reason.
Whoa. El Jerado is responsible for many of the insane happenings that have occurred in previous decades.
Because there's never just one storm. Is it better to cast a continuous stream of light and have people take it for granted, or present people with the opportunity to grasp the light? That way it can never be forsaken. Because at the end of the day, it's your choice whether you embrace the light or not. We cannot force you to do it.
Right.
You have to let us.
With great power and light comes an even greater electricity bill. And I completely
trust me, El Jerado does not charge cheap.
So you're gonna put a price on light. So you're
of
kind
course
of
there's a price on life.
Not light, light.
Oh, light. I thought you said light.
There's a price on light too. To really understand light,
Absolutely.
you have to first touch the darkness. And I like how you described it as, falling in a pit. To find yourself in the bottomless pit chamber of your mind is to, once you realize that's where you are, you can begin to, climb the ladder out of that pit, because you know what's at the top. It's kind of like in death, how people say there's lots of retellings of how, like, the final thing they see before they die is they wade through waves of immeasurable darkness to find themselves at that great light, that intense and all-encompassing peace. And you have to know what's on the other side to get there. If you don't know what's there, you're just going to be aimlessly wandering around the forest with a flashlight and a map that doesn't actually get you anywhere. It's
Exactly.
just the land.
You guys are not even considering the third option. Just float to the top with drugs and alcohol.
But
That's a placebo.
It's fleeting. It's
Mhm.
fleeting.
That was
There's
happiness.
but here's the thing. Taking multiple substances to float to the light creates diminishing returns, because eventually, how much will it take for you to get to that level?
Exactly. And
How much will it take?
And also, just to piggyback off of what Spencer said, that's essentially, let's say that the darkness is a desert, and the
Like Florida?
drugs getting you to the light is a mirage. Now, that doesn't mean that if you do drugs, you'll never find the light, but thinking that the light can only be found through drugs is a mirage in itself. It is an oasis that doesn't actually exist, and you
Like
don't
a
find that until you have
hallucination.
sand in your mouth.
It's like
No.
a hallucination. You
No,
ever
no,
see
no,
the
no.
movies where they're traveling in the desert and they start seeing things, because of
Mhm.
the heat, and it's usually things that they want to see. Water, a water fountain. Hell, if it's Family Guy, you see a Dr. Pepper machine just sitting out there. That's what drugs are.
Right.
They give you what you want to see, not what you need to see.
And honestly, this actually reminds me of, so The Doors is an extremely influential band in terms of, they were, back in the 50s, or like,
70s,
one of the
60s, 70s, and 40s.
they started in the late 50s, but they, they John Morrison, the Lizard King himself, he went into the desert on peyote with drugs.
That is true.
And he plunged into darkness. Okay. But he embraced it, and he really fleshed it out. And I think that's a really good example here today for this particular topic. I think that
Be like Jim Morrison.
Do
I said John,
peyote,
didn't I?
guys.
Oh,
Do
man.
peyote. And then walk into the desert. Nothing bad can happen.
That's almost true.
Well, if you're essentially taking a succulent cactus to trip, surely other cactuses would see you and be like, "Hey, you're one of me." You
Dude, whoa.
they want to take
Bro,
you, bro.
are you on drugs right now? Because I feel like you almost pulled me into a
I am-
trip
I
right
am
then. That was
stone cold, mostly sober.
speaking of death. We tonight we want to kind of discuss something that is important, and that's grief. Grief is the price that you pay for love, as well as the light of death. And Spencer, a buddy of mine that I won't be talking about him tonight. He's gone through some things, as well as El Jerado. He's also dealt with a death recently, and he's been discussing how he has traversed that field of darkness to the light of death. And go ahead and share your experience.
Well, first off, and this is completely depending on what religious ideology you pick, right? If you are, especially, I see this a lot with Christians. They get death wrong.
You
At
think
least
so?
by the way they describe death compared to the way that they react to death are two polar opposites. Because if you think of a Christian funeral, where do you imagine it at? A church. What do you imagine? You imagine walking in the room,
Everybody's sad.
everybody's sad,
There's a
everybody
crying.
crying. If I have to go to one more funeral and hear Go Rest High on That Mountain play while everybody in the room cries, even myself, I'm not going to go. Because based upon the ideology, they have, if you are a God-loving, God-following, Christian, you go to paradise, to heaven. So why should I feel sad that you were gone? I should feel happy. It's a celebration because
Right.
you have now went to your forever home. I think a lot of it comes down to, and not like malicious, but like selfishness.
Yeah.
Because we get so attached to the person that we're upset that they're gone, even though heaven, based upon that ideology, would have just gained another strong soul.
Well, I see. I kind of see where you're going with this, but also, I think there's a difference between wailing and despairing over the death, and then shedding tears because of what a beautiful life they lived. And also, those tears can be tears of joy because you get to say you got to know them, you got to experience who they were, maybe even some of the products of what they did. And then if you are religious, then you also get to be at peace for their soul, knowing they'll be one with God.
See, I see that, but I look at like my dad. He had a buddy from the army who's Mexican, and he says when his mother and his father, separately, but when they both passed away, dude, they had fucking taco trucks. They had like fiesta. They partied. They had a celebration because at the end of the day, you should be happy because death is not the end of death is the end of life, yes, but death is not sad. Death is the mark of a completed life because I am not overtly religious, but I believe in life. You get the whole experience.
Well, can I, not to interrupt, I kind of want to roll back. You said death is completed life.
It's a complete of a life.
Is sure, but
Even short
Dep-
ones, those
dep-
are just.
I was about to
speedruns.
say, even with short lives that are short lived, some people may, depending on who the situation, may not see that as a complete life.
See, and I get that, and there is an argument to be had there. I don't necessarily agree with that, but there is definitely some legitimacy to that. But still, at the end of the day, if you die at 35, think about how long 35 years is. Like, obviously, to us, that seems young. But 100 year, maybe a couple 100 years ago, that was an average life.
That was the oldest guy in the
That was an
village.
average life. You didn't have
Mhm.
you didn't have very common people living to be 80, 90. Now we're getting to where there's a lot of people living to 100. Like life
I think the
expectancy has
oldest is somewhere between 120 and
like
120,
life
29.
expectancy has went up. And so
That's because
but,
we have
but
we
that,
have
and so
measures for cholera.
we don't view dying at 35 as a complete life because the rules changed.
Well,
To us, a completed life is 60s, maybe 70s, maybe
Well,
even 80s.
Not necessarily. I think that what we see as a completed life is, even though as a Christian, you view death as gain, because that means that you have completed the journey of life in some way. There's people who are attached to the potential of somebody, like a mother to their child, and they're ready. They have it in their mind that they've raised them, and they're ready to see all of the things that they're going to accomplish and do, and that family that they're going to have. And when they die young and they don't get that, even if you have the mentality that once you die you're one with the Creator, that it still feels like a lot of memories that you could have had, you felt owed to have, that can really make somebody cynical and
I
upset
think
with the whole process, and maybe see it as an incomplete life.
Yeah.
if I may for a second, let me just stop
Absolutely
for a
not.
second. Let me just stop for a second. Ding, 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 ding. Bible fights. Now, coming in from the atheistic point of view, life has so much more meaning because of death. Because think about it. When you die, do you want to die and go to heaven, or do you want to upload your mind into like an AI and then you just live forever? It would be nothing to go everywhere, to do everything if you're immortal. Yeah. The whole point of dying is because what is the point of having good food if you don't have bad food?
What's the point of if my favorite dessert
Yeah.
is ice cream?
Yes.
No matter what, like that is top tier dessert for me.
Okay.
If I have nothing but ice cream, then ice cream sucks.
Exactly.
You have somebody in the chat disagreeing with you, saying that they actually think life expectancy is decreasing as of late.
There are studies that suggest that, and it might be gearing towards that. But as an overall, like maybe like recent trends have geared that way, which, I could be talking out of my ass, but I just look at a general view. You have people that live to their 80s and 90s and 100s now. 200 years ago, you didn't have that.
Oregon Trail times.
Oregon Trail
You got cholera. You were
that's
down.
That's one of the reasons why. Is because people are so detached from death because the population has done nothing but increase. There are so many people that I know who don't really have very many people in their family that are dead, or people that they know that have died.
Okay, so we've been asked to fact check the life expectancy, and if you consider Google as a credible source, it says that life expectancy is increasing overall, which is, bouncing back from the COVID pandemic. So life expectancy at birth reached a record high of 79 years, which is a decent average considering, like we're talking about the Oregon Trail
so you
days.
consider that average. That was not decent. That was extra. That was like what?
He said it's decreasing because people are fat, lazy bums.
Ooh,
That's actually, my demographic. That is.
Here's the thing. I don't necessarily that means
Okay.
that the life expectancy is going down. It just means
The health.
that
Quality.
Just the general health.
Quality of life.
that young men and women are losing their ambition and are succumbing to dopamine and social media and entertainment. I don't actually see. I don't know that has anything to do with how long they're gonna live.
It's all the shit that we fucked up in the beginning. We started making microplastics. We started feeding people shit.
Poisoning the food supply, bro.
Yeah, like we didn't see this coming. That's like me punching cigarettes day after day for 40 years.
Because you were told it's healthy.
Yeah, and then
People were told it was healthy.
Yeah.
What do you think that did to the life expectancy that nobody seems to mention?
I'm pretty sure methamphetamine was also sold over the counter at one point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could buy cocaine out of the Sears catalog up until the 70s.
Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola
Mhm.
used to have cocaine in it.
Which, by the way, it's fucking crazy to me that you could open up a Sears catalog and be like, "Oh, that's a nice duvet. Hey, that's a pretty good couch.
Well,
Hey, you want to do some cocaine, sweetheart?
well, allow me to redirect back to our main point, which was supposed to be about death, and we've once
Only one
again
line, honey.
we've once again found ourselves back in the drug category. It's so easy to go back to.
Yeah, and that's another thing too that I really think that people should do. I really think people should do it because it
Do
does.
what? Do drugs?
Yes,
Let's not pitch do
Whoa,
drugs. Let's not-
some drugs.
Okay,
There are
just a
some-
disclaimer: we of False Graves do not advocate for anybody attempting drug use based on our suggestions.
No, I'm not saying that you guys
I like
should
that.
do drugs. What I'm saying is that you should experience them because I have never felt closer to death than when I almost died. Like the 2 times,
I would believe
that
so.
makes
yes.
sense.
Yes,
Of
yes.
course, of course.
and that's the only thing that really made me appreciate life. Because don't get me wrong, this is a great place. There's a lot of neat shit, but it's also fucking terrible. And when you almost die from a van and that one time on acid, which we're not going to talk about,
You appreciate it more.
yeah, because you actually you can feel it. And
Well-
that's something that doesn't
Well, it's
happen.
also in a sense of like, whoa, as shitty as this world is, at least I know what this world is. I don't know what death has waiting for me.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the comfort of the known.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think honestly, I don't know that I would say a near death experience would make me feel closer to death because I don't actually, in terms like, I don't really think about death too frequently just because if I did decide to start thinking about like when I could die, it could literally be at any moment. It could be in my
just get
sleep.
paralyzed.
It could be exactly. It could
Then-
be. I
then you
could
couldn't do
croak
anything.
today.
Then you couldn't
But
do anything.
I really want to dive into how you have navigated your grief.
Oh, I haven't. I've just numbed
Well,
myself.
I'm talking about El Dorado
Oh.
most
He is
recently.
grieving himself. He did die, remember?
Indeed.
But I just navigated it and I can't even say fully navigated it because I mean hell, it's been like 3 weeks. So like I don't even know if I'm sure fully over it, but it's more just in a sense of like
Acceptance.
it was never really denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. It was just sadness and then acceptance. You're giggling over there. What's
Yeah,
wrong?
the Dark Bearer. We've got the opposition in the chat. He says that he's quoting you, as shitty as this world is, at least I know what this world is. He said that was profound. So
El
really-
Dorado has.
been
Struck
alone
again.
in a temple for decades.
You see that scripture right there that you just recited back to me? That was actually my flash of light.
Indeed. So please,
It was just more so sadness than acceptance.
Mm.
Because it's like
you didn't go through the stages of
well, 'cause
grief.
brother, I still
chronologically?
gotta get up and go to work the next day. This was a Sunday. I work on a Monday. So I mean a lot of it also is I didn't have time to really feel sad because I gotta get out and provide.
Mhm.
I gotta get out and make the money. Because if I don't, who else is gonna?
This might be a selfish topic to explore, but I'm gonna pitch it anyways. We talked recently on the show about ego death, and what would you say about grieving yourself? You know, one day you decide that you know who you are. You know, if you're selfish
I
and
get you.
you are, you're living a life that you don't actually, believe in, but it's just kind of come around that way. And you
I
decided
relate
to kill your ego, follow something, surrender your autonomy to, the light. Do you think that, grieving who you were leads to, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Growth.
No, what's, falling back into it?
No, I would relate it to looking back on your high school memories. Because you look back and you think of all the fun times you had, but you're not that person anymore. And it's to the extent to where it's like you still do grieve the old you in a sense, because in some ways you do look back even though times were bad, you survived them.
Well, that begs the question, what are you grieving? What
was?
exactly have you lost if you have gained the true direction you wish to go?
Because you never know what direction you
I
want
think
to go.
I think if you've truly found the light, I think that grieving yourself would only come about in times of extreme darkness. I think that
Yes.
I think what you're talking about is fucking depression, dude. Grieving yourself isn't just depression. Grieving yourself for who you were Because I've seen good guys turn bad, I've seen bad guys turn good, and both of them have grieved the same person the past who they were.
Batman v Superman type shit.
Yeah.
Martha.
Yeah,
Mhm.
dude, you just never know. Like tomorrow, you could go out and have like the greatest day of your life and just be happy as a clam. You could still down the road grieve that you will never have another day just like that.
Well, no, because you never will, no matter what. Like, and that's where a lot of my acceptance comes from, is in the fact of it's, no 2 days are the same. It don't matter. I mean, hell, the sun doesn't even set at exactly the same time each day. So no 2 days are the exact same. Each day is a minute longer or a minute shorter than the last.
I'd like to interject here. The Dark Bearer says that grieving at all is ridiculous. Now, I
disagree.
honestly, I'm actually with you in the sense that I think that whenever you murder your old self and you die and you're birthed anew and you begin a new path, I think that if you're grieving something, then you're grieving your sinful nature and you're grieving, that part of your life. And I agree, that is ridiculous. I'm actually with him on that.
That's why they tell recovering alcoholics don't ever do it by yourself, because you're just as susceptible of falling back into that temptation as your partner.
As well as the grief echo chamber is probably
10 times
is extreme.
turned
It's
up.
like a poisonous chamber.
Because
to be
I
in.
mean, if you are in the grasp of darkness, if darkness just is surrounding you with its fist and there's no escape, if you do manage to claw out, do you think the darkness is gonna let you go easy? Fuck no. The darkness will latch on. The darkness will continue. The demons will chase you still. And that is why most recovering alcoholics, till the day they die, cannot be around alcohol. Because the demons are just so poignant that it's almost too much.
Something I think about, this is a random quote I heard a while back, and it's that if you take a look at your life and you think, wow, Satan isn't touching me, he's not bothering me at all. That probably means that
you're evil.
He's happy with your state. He has no reason to bother you.
Every family has a crazy person, and if you don't believe me, then you're the crazy person.
Good God.
Or it's you, and you just don't know it.
That's
again, coming from the atheist side of this fucking fence, like, this just sounds like we live in a fucked up world. And sometimes people just go down a wrong fucking path.
They do.
Yeah. So this talk of like ego death and what you guys are talking about is either redemption or damnation. And that's not just solely biblical. That's just around the board. Again, I've seen the greatest men in my life go from trash human beings into like the best people you would know.
Mm-hmm.
They would give you the shirt
because they
off
had
their
the
back.
desire to do the right thing.
Well, I think
Yeah,
about
but that isn't divine influence. That's you. That's you making a choice.
a celebrity,
Interesting.
and I'm going to say celebrity loosely, that I've looked up to for a long time, from the Duck Dynasty show, Phil Robertson.
Oh my lord.
He before he was like 28, he was doing things of the world, smoking dope, drinking, and it almost cost him everything. And then at 28, he was reborn as a follower of Christ. And I think at his funeral, he told his sons, "Do not cry. Tell stories. Reminisce together.
Don't sit in a room with me in the center of it crying over my body. It's ridiculous."
But I bet he didn't grieve himself. I bet he was happy to have found the light, and that's what I'm saying. That's what we have to convince people of.
If you are laying there dying, and you have done, I don't want to say everything right, but you've done enough to where your family and the people that did depend on you can no longer depend on you, there's no need to grieve, because they'll be all right.
If you did your job, anyways.
If you do your job right, there's no need to grieve. You only grieve if you did your job wrong. Think about how many people are sitting on their deathbed, thinking back in their life and be like, "Oh, I wish I could have done that differently." And that's just natural. But why have any regrets? It's over. It's in the past.
The same thing can be said for doing dark shit. Like, how many people that I've known in my life to die to like drug use and shit like that. And the last thing that some of the shit that I've heard them say on their deathbeds, it wasn't, I should have never got on drugs. One guy actually grabbed me by my
I should have
shirt.
done 12 ounces instead of 10.
Yeah, no, seriously. He grabbed me. He was like, "Can you get me a bump?" Dude, we are in a fucking hospital. Nah. You're going into the ground. I'm not going into a prison cell, buddy.
Nurse.
Like I almost did trying to get you a vape in the Memphis hospital.
Oh my
yeah,
god, that shit
bro,
was,
that was not a good call.
that was bananas to me. I didn't think they'd check him. I thought that because they threw out my cigarettes and my vape, but like I did not expect them to pat you down.
The Dark Bear has posed a statement. He said that grief is the opposite of gratitude.
Mm.
That's going to take some time to unpack.
That's something to ponder on.
I mean, like I feel like that's a little bit inaccurate because if you're grieving something, it's because you miss it. You don't want to let it go. If anything,
But that in itself shows that you're not grateful for it, because if you get a reward from your mother and you get to go out on the town and pick you out a toy, and then the next day comes and you're like, gosh, I really miss yesterday when I got something new. Well, then you don't appreciate it, because you should be infatuated by the new toy that is still technically new because it's a day old. If you want another toy the next day, then you didn't have gratitude towards your mother for giving it to you.
yeah, but see, that's just like a scarecrow fallacy, my boy. What I'm saying here is,
Scarecrow fallacy.
Yeah.
What sort of chicanery are you talking about, my guy?
you're trying to lead me through this pumpkin patch of lies. No, what I'm
Pumpkin
trying to
patch
say
of
though,
lies.
no, grief is just the extension, the overindulgence in gratitude. It's just like lust is an overindulgence in love, and
It's
grief.
like looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's you're basically looking at it so hard in the mouth, you're looking through its asshole. It's just the opposite side of the coin.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what a lovely image.
Honestly, the way I'm looking at it is that the opposite of gratitude is, just taking things for granted and not being grateful for, the times that you had. And I don't think that, coming to terms with the fact that you're going to miss this person and continue to walk life without them, especially if you were close to them, I don't see that as the exact opposite by any means. As I said earlier, how you go about it, if you're wailing, despairing, and taking that time to, get attention, like, oh, I cared about them the most, clearly because I'm the most in pain. I think at that point, it's getting dark. But complete opposites, I wouldn't go as far as to say that they were, it was the antithesis of the other.
Interesting.
But I say we move on here. We have a really extremely important topic to get into.
The trending topic of the week.
The top, El Jerado, please, you posed this topic. Go ahead and flesh it out for us.
All right, so I'm gonna paint a little Bob Marley picture for you guys, and I'm gonna
Bob Marley?
You mean Bob Ross?
I'm gonna.
Are you gonna sing it in reggae?
I'm gonna talk real slow and real quiet and peaceful into the microphone so that you
while Furman pats his little
hear.
bush.
So, I was in Walmart just about a week ago, and your boy El Jerado really had to shit. Bad.
This is a magical story.
So, I rushed to the first bathroom in the front of Walmart. And what do I see? I see the one and only stall shut and locked with somebody in it. So I'm like, shit. So I got to run all the way to the back of the store. And I'm presented with another sight of the only stall with the door locked and somebody in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just led me to think, bro, urinals are so overrated. They are. Because a guy can hold his piss for hours. A guy does not need a separate place to piss.
Technically, if you're skilled enough, a sink
A
will
sink.
do.
Okay, why is there one toilet in the bathroom?
we've got it. Dark Bear says having to shit at Walmart at all is a skill issue, and I'm kind of leaning to agree with him.
Okay,
I kind of see what he's saying
okay,
here.
I don't do this often, but in the times that I do, why is there one toilet there?
I do agree. Why can we not have, like, actually,
Female bathrooms are nothing but toilets because they don't have wangs.
it's also regulation that the ratio is normally 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 for stalls for men and women's bathrooms.
Yes, bro. I am convinced that every public store franchise bathroom for men was designed by a female. I'm convinced. Because it's such a female thing. Oh my goodness. We'll create a separate place for him to pee. It can be so organized.
Also, men did not name urinal cakes, bro. We did not have a hand in naming that particular item.
The urinal is such a girlfriend idea. And because the gesture is nice. Having a separate place to pee is nice. But it is very inconvenient when I can also pee on the toilet.
Yeah, the problem with that too is like that's not even the most egregious thing. Like urinals, at least you get that little divider. Piss
Not
trough.
always.
No,
That's not always.
No, dude,
you
I'm
must
telling
go
you.
to some high class public bathrooms, my
Dude,
guy.
I'm just saying, like at many a bar, I would rather have a urinal than have to stand arm to arm with guys pissing into ice. I still don't know who came up with that fucking stupid idea.
You're at a urinal, and your back is wide open, and unguarded with your pants down. Not a good situation.
I
No
agree.
bueno.
Getting hit in the head at that time.
You're in a stall where there's walls and you can stand your ground. There's at least hope for you.
I agree with that 100%. Also, another thing that I think is unnecessary, and it's only unnecessary because clearly it's useless, and that's anytime I've been, for example, a Cracker Barrel, and I've been at the Cracker Barrel bathroom, I'll see on the wall the koala changing station. And I have never once in my 22 years of existing seen a man with his child using a koala station.
Yeah, because you use it for cocaine. You don't use it for babies.
I've never seen it being used for cocaine.
I mean, I've never seen anybody with a physical koala in general to take over there to change either.
Dude,
so people don't even have koalas.
That's why the chlamydia content in men's bathrooms has been
I
skyrocketing.
would understand that as like a feature at the zoo. You know, maybe one of the zookeepers is transporting the koala to the new exhibit, and it's got to use the bathroom. Well, there you go. But get that shit out of my bathroom.
Well,
But on top of that, girls, like, for their bathrooms, they get like elongated, vanity mirrors and,
my God,
and sinks.
bro.
Sometimes a fucking couch.
a babbling brook in the background.
We get a drain in the floor to drain out the water in case of a leak or a
dude.
flood.
Technically, men's bathrooms, every one that I've been in, looks like it could be in a slasher villain movie.
Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, bro. Like that's the war side of Vietnam in there, bro.
St. John said he's actually used a koala changing station one time.
St.
That
John
doesn't count,
Dude, I'm not changing my kid like in public.
In public.
And actually, you know what? I can't say that because what if something happens in public?
Right.
You know,
That's
I see why you'd maybe need to, but man, I'd find another way. I'd go into. We should just have. Why isn't the koala station in the stall? Because at Cracker Barrel, the koala station is outside of the stalls. Why is it not more private? Why are we like? Why is it placed there? Can we have some some brain cells fire? Male bathroom designers.
So are we?
Please.
So does this? Are we insinuating?
And St. John says women get bowls full of snacks. See, bro, what's
That's
going on?
That's
Toilet treats?
Holy inequity.
That is just disgusting. I do not where guys are shitting. I would not want to go out, grab a handful of peanuts, because not everybody just
Grab it with your trunk, dog.
just fucking listen to fucking Enya while I'm taking a shit.
Guys, they're stuck.
All right, who put a chocolate in there? Very funny.
Well, look at how little attention the guy's bathroom gets. You know how many times I've been in there and there's no toilet paper.
Dude,
Oh,
there's one time I walked in. Guys, why are we just throwing toilet paper around the bathroom? How did it get to this corner
Because
over there?
People have the mindset of it's not mine, so I don't have to take care of it.
Well, it's not
That's
just that.
legitimately the reason.
Well, how else are you supposed to play toilet tag with your friends?
Oh my god.
Listen, dude, you can take your fucking UAV Call of Booty having ass out of here.
Dude, could you just imagine everybody on the other side and just hook it and just hear him? Ah!
Dude, there's also something else that I think about, and that's so like at Buc-ee's. Okay, I've been to Buc-ee's one time, and this number one, the lines in the bathroom, the girls' bathroom line was stemming like almost out the door, and the guys were moving like an assembly line because guys like don't have to do as much.
Get out.
No,
Get
it's
in
not
there
even
and
that.
get
It
out.
just stinks. And do you want to hang out where people shit? Is that what you're trying to tell
The
us?
smell is not even related
I
here.
mean, like
the
high
real-
schoolers find
The
it
relation
appealing.
is that guys get in there, they take care of business, and they don't have to do anything extra. Girls have steps. They have steps that they have to follow when they go, and it's like. That's not even the worst part. The worst part about a Buc-ee's bathroom is that there's green lights above the stalls. So you walk in there, instead of urinals being on the wall, it's like there's like one middle, urinals on both sides, and then there's like stalls all around, and you have to wait for a stall light to turn green, and then you can go in there.
So
Now
it's
it's
like
a race to who can get to the bathroom
so
first.
it's a Greyhound bus stop.
Yeah,
essentially.
dude.
That's what the men's bathroom has become. The Greyhound bus stop.
Yeah, you gotta admire the efficiency.
Fucking bussies, man.
It is efficient though.
Like,
And I guess that's why people don't pay much attention. It's so low tech. It's because it's so efficient.
green light, go. Red light, no.
Flickering yellow light that might
shit.
work.
Oh, dude, he's
that
he's
guy-
stopping and starting, bro. He's just an old guy,
bro.
man.
Oh, dude, he just opened up Facebook. He could be here for a bit.
But another thing is that here's where I'll draw the line. Okay, right now you could go into one of those stalls and you could be there as long as you wanted. Okay, if you want to take up one stall for 2 hours, unless somebody comes and gets you,
My bathroom.
If they start putting timers on the bathroom stall doors,
Well, you know that's where it's going with AI.
I'm going to trip,
yeah,
bro.
dude,
I'm
You know
telling
that's
it'd
exactly
be
where
so
it's going
terrible.
with AI.
You need to drop one
Because like
Bitcoin
sometimes,
to take a shit.
even if I want to get in there and get out quickly, sometimes it's going to take 97 to the third power of wipes to take care of business.
You know for a fact
because
that
you only
give
give me
it-
one ply
give
paper.
it 5 years when people have let these flock cameras just go about their daily lives, when they do absolutely fuck all to stop it, when they say, oh, I guess now flashing my ID to access fucking DoorDash is just a way of life now. Okay, I'll just do it.
Dude,
Once we get to there, they're gonna start charging per minute to use the bathroom and AI tickers to know when you walked in and when
Dude.
you walk out.
You said that like no one's doing anything about it. There's actually so everybody on the internet is saying that Halloween this year is supposed to be deflocking day. Since,
Fuck yes, I'm
since
joining.
everybody's going to be in masks anyway, people are just going to start attacking the,
Hold
the
up,
flock
hold
cameras.
up. Let me just say, if there is anybody that wants to partake in the deflocking day, I highly recommend that you do not do it. And please watch yourself and make sure you are not spotted.
If you're thinking about going to deflock a camera after the podcast tonight, False Grave says no. Exactly. So
What's this wee shit? Fuck it.
Well, listen, okay?
and Dark Bear is pro deflocking. You know
Oh,
what?
yeah, I'm just saying, block those cameras,
Bro,
bro.
if I catch somebody who is not pro deflocking, they're just an AI bot themselves.
They are NPCs.
They are a robot.
Absolutely.
Like iRobot.
Dude, could you imagine you're driving by, you see somebody like deflocking, and then you just hit them with the
Yo.
oh shit, 5-0. 5-0, guys. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. That'd be one of the more fun
Oh my
protests.
goodness. The Dark Bear says not to bring your phone with you in the car. Do it old school.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but I'm a busy man, and work can call at any time.
Well, not even that. Forget whatever he just said. The man's not gonna keep me on my phone. The music when I'm driving, I'm not trusting the radio to have bangers. Okay, I'm just not.
2026. Who listens to
I have
the radio
playlists
anymore?
for this reason. So
Nobody listens to FM radio anymore.
now, if you spend an entire like car ride on the phone with somebody
you're
else,
just an irresponsible
bro, you could.
driver.
I here's the thing. I think that it's almost disrespectful in a way because you're telling me, oh, you have to get from point A to point B, and you're bored enough to call me to talk to. Nah, bro, I want you to be at home, sitting down, and have decided I want to talk to my my friend.
Don't use me as an excuse.
Yeah,
to
bro.
get
If you want
over
to do
your
that, bro,
boredom.
fucking watch something on YouTube, put it on the screen.
I do. I will
listen
say,
to music,
what-
look at the sites.
What's his name? Dark Bear.
Dark Bear?
I will say I agree with you on this. If you're the driver in a car, being bored is the default. You should have your eyes peeled on the road, looking at your environment.
I heard from somebody that I work with, and he said that driving is not a skill issue; it's a moral issue, and that actually really takes precedence when you think recently a couple people that me and El Jerado know, they unfortunately passed because somebody ran a red light and they were in a big fucking truck and they just crushed the car, and that guy, that this really speaks for him. It is a moral issue to pay attention and follow some rules because, you know, you are in control of whether or not somebody else lives or dies if you decide to be to not be locked in at any given moment.
You can map out a profile of somebody.
Oh wait, yo, my bad. Go ahead, say what you got to say.
You can map out an entire profile of somebody's identity just by their driving habits.
Dude, Dark Bearer says, and I quote, "No phone or car." Okay,
Or car.
Straight Amish.
Straight
Get a
walk.
buggy. Get a horse.
Oregon Trail. Oh my god,
Dude, could you imagine seeing an Amish deflock in a fucking the cops wouldn't
That'd
even
be
know what to
great.
do.
That'd be awesome. I would love to see that. And I know they'll do it because some of them have a dark side. One time I saw an Amish cart going down the road and I was stuck behind them, and it came to my attention they had 3 24-packs of Mountain Dew on the back, and I was like, oh, those guys are getting up to something.
Oh yeah,
This is probably their graduation, dude.
Don't you find it weird to think about an Amish person going to Walmart? Like, bro, you grow half this shit.
Oh my god, dude.
You grow it.
That's nothing. Dude, I saw one outside the Walmart smoking a fucking cigarette.
Dude,
Like,
you should not know what Marlboro is. You should roll your own in tumbleweed
If I ask
or in a
you,
pipe.
If I ask you, do you got a light, and you don't raise a lantern, bro, you've already abandoned what you believe.
I'll accept a match. I'll accept you pulling out a match and striking one. That's
striking a
acceptable.
match.
Could you
Fine.
imagine they bust out like
Even a Bic, I might be like, that's still mechanical.
You're pushing it, but you light my cigarette.
You
it's
bring
okay.
a torch out that has Rick and Morty on it. All right, we've abandoned the cause. It's all over.
Don't
Dude,
you
just get zippers now. You're already fucked.
Why don't you just pull that fake beard off? It's glued anyway.
Oh, he's saying that not to have a car or phone for deflocking. I see what he's saying for sure. You need to walk.
Absolutely.
You need to like plan a route, walk through the woods, like you said,
See,
plan a
this-
route, and that's clearly the way to go.
This is when I enact the principle of somebody I really do not like. I all of a sudden become really good friends with them and say, "Hey, we're going deflocking. Want to take your car?" Then,
two birds.
two birds with one flock.
Yeah,
Two
depends
birds,
on whether-
both guys stoned.
I'm just
Deflocking
saying,
occurring.
just be careful with that because if he's a straight bitch, you just went ahead and told on yourself.
Oh no, bro. Listen. Okay, I've not at all mentioned any names because, listen. If I don't like you, you will only know unless I want you to know.
That's not straight. If I don't like somebody, I'm just gonna like approach them and say, hey, listen, dude. Those moments where you think that like small talk is forced upon us, don't. We're going to have awkward silence. It will only be awkward for you because I am very confident in how I feel. Now, granted, that doesn't happen super often. Most people I tend to give the benefit of the doubt and try to like. But some guys, not going to name names, but Payne Down, they're out there, unfortunately.
Oh, for sure.
The wicked darkness does breed.
Well, it's not wicked darkness. It's typically fucking stupidity that gets me. Like, dude, it's not evil people.
Stupidity gets you?
Stupid.
Yes, dude, I can't
Josh,
fucking stand.
you've been accosted by the stupidity.
Yes, dude, seriously. It fucking happens more than you think. Like, small shit. Like, my girl, I love her to death. She will drink her water down to here, put it back in the fucking fridge, not touch it again.
Oh my god, bro!
hell
I will
no.
fucking slap somebody, dude.
Look,
hell no.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
My little brother, dude, I saw this today. There was an empty package of something that he used. Now, my kitchen is on 2 different sides of the wall. And the package that was empty was sitting on like literally a foot away from the trash can. And I was like, dude, why is this sitting here?
It's just
It could be gone.
2 feet. Just
A little.
Yeah.
you can just 3-point that bitch from over here. You don't even have to walk.
Yep.
Well, your brother's so tall, his height already makes up half the distance he would have to walk to get to the garbage
Indeed.
can.
Yeah,
so-
technically he could have just.
Bro's
fell
not
forward.
using his gifts and abilities
He's
for
not,
good.
He's not.
He's not
It's
great.
a
But
damn
for-
shame.
Evil!
Fucking. Oh god.
Until we meet again.
Fucking.
Furman and El Jerado, unite!
Curse you.
Breaking news.
Fuck it.
Furman accosted by stupidity.
Ah.
And you just have
Fucking.
Yep.
Oh god, dude.
So something I want to talk about. I've seen this. So Dean Withers is an internet debater, and I came across him recently.
I have no idea.
No, I say recently, within a year, like the last
I'm
year or
with-
so.
I'm with you.
And I don't particularly agree with a whole lot that he says. He's sort of a soy boy in some instances, and he also has this thing where he says believe the victim, and that's like without evidence, I guess. I don't really mess with that particular ideology. I think innocent until proven guilty. But besides that, this philosophy is kind of came back on him in a weird way. Somebody else, they grabbed the account of some random 13-year-old and then texted basically gave rape allegations on Dean Withers from this random account. And so that blew up, okay? Because lots of people dislike Dean, so they all jumped at the opportunity to be on board with, oh, Dean's a hypocrite, he's a raper, and it comes to find out that was actually all fake. But people still said, hey, initially, you were freaking out saying, why do you believe this? But this was a victim.
Believe the victim.
This was a victim saying, now, obviously it wasn't real, but it still applies.
He got a taste of what we would like to call his own medicine.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Because my problem with Dean Withers isn't necessarily what he says. Not always. I mean, some of the stuff he says is pretty whack, but it's more of the it's more of the way it's presented.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more the way it comes across.
There's
It's
a lot of
very black and white.
very-
Very black and
No,
white.
I was gonna say snobby.
Snobby
There's
too.
lots of snob in that,
because
man.
I look at it this way. It's kind of like I looked at the whole NFL kneeling during the national anthem when that bullshit was very high back in 2016, right?
Mhm.
And looking back at it now, are there problems to be said about race and
sports and
sport and all? Is there something to be said about
exploitation.
improper treatment compared to others? Absolutely. I would love to have a conversation with that. But I'm not going to listen to somebody who makes 6 figures a year to run around on a field and get sweaty. I'm going to listen to the black cook down at the diner about problems that are going on with the system. I'm going to speak to people who are in the same financial class as me about problems that could be going on. I'm not going
Right.
to talk to people who are made
People who are complaining about white privilege while actively benefiting
from white privilege.
from well, I wasn't going to say from white privilege. They're benefiting from the American system.
Oh yeah, because you know for a fact the only reason why people are here saying America is the worst place to live is because America allows you to say that. Do you think you could have said that back in the USSR, that this is the worst place to live? Do you think you could have said that? Do you think you can say that in China?
You would have been flogged.
You would have been sodomized with a rusty fishing knife for saying that.
That's an unpleasant thought. Honestly.
I mean, it's true though. I mean, and that's another thing that's kind of been bugging me with all these people out here like, oh man, all this blah, 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 blah. We need to save the planet. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, we need to save the planet. Well, just saying it isn't going to fucking change shit.
I think step one is to realize how messed up our current financial system is, because think about this. America is currently in $40 trillion worth of debt.
Mm-hmm.
40 trillion?
And who's going to call
What
on
have we
it?
been doing? How?
Well, you know how that has accumulated. It's because our financial system allows us to spend this money before it's ever even created.
At least Israel is thriving.
These oh, thank God for that. Woo-hoo-hoo! These government institutions, they have a set budget that is essentially a made up number. You have $43 million to work with this year. But the reason why there's so much wasteful spending is because the government agency gets greedy. And because if they do not use that entire $43 million of budget, they will not get that next year. That will be, if they come $5 million short of that, that will only be $38 million next year on the budget. They will not get that back.
Right.
It is a use it or lose it ordeal. And anybody that is in a use it or lose it situation oftentimes uses it, because why would you not?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get it back. So it's not like you can use it to invest in something and get that back later. No, if you don't use that money, it's gone.
Yeah, especially with all these governors and shit when they do like the insider trading and shit. Like we already know that you're getting paid out the fucking ass to do this. You get to live in the nicest house and have the most cushy job. Even if you're a shit senator, you come in.
You live a life of luxury, bro.
And then you get caught by Chris Hansen and kill yourself.
And,
Oh my God.
And if you don't kill yourself, you still probably will get elected
Dude.
next year.
Speaking of which, the EDP documentary is
I'm not saying it.
bonkers, man.
I'm not saying it.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain. What do you mean bonkers?
Dude, okay. This guy is just unabashedly wicked, okay, essentially. And I mean, like he said, yeah, you know, I try to have sex with a 13-year-old, but fuck all that. No! I shan't be forgetting that crucial piece of information.
We're not just gonna
He
dust
said, so,
that under
he had Chris Hansen interview me, and Chris Hansen said, so what was your intentions? He said, oh, well, I wanted
my
to have
goodness.
sex with a 14-year-old girl.
She was 12.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, fuck it. The whole thing was just bonkers to me because, like, once you're got, just go away.
Just admit that, okay, you will always look at me this way now, which
I mean,
maybe
fair enough.
rightfully so.
I saw a video of somebody. There was another channel that does. We saw this together actually. Another channel of people that catch predators essentially. And this one guy, he got caught. It was obvious he got caught, and he just pretended to pass out. So he just falls out and lays down while the other guy is just kind of like still like hammering. Like he's like, oh yeah, the paramedics are coming, but yeah, let me read some text to you while you're passed out. And so he starts reading off the texts, and another guy, same deal. They were at a Walmart, and bro was trying to say he was hacked by his girlfriend, and she was trying to set him up, but he was the last text sent was, hey, I'm going to be at this section of the Walmart at this time, and he would just happen to be there, and he was like, bro, I'm here just picking out clothes, man. And he's like, so you're right exactly where you said you were going to be, but your girlfriend set this up? She knew exactly when you were going to be in this exact section at this exact time.
Yeah, I got
Oh my
it on, like,
goodness.
GPS.
Oh,
It just happened. It's just weird, bro.
Oh, your
Just
girlfriends have never set you up for
Just-
something like that? Mine put me up for murder like twice.
It's like accept your consequences of doing something real gross and go get beat up in jail. That's
Like,
that's what you
and
need.
honestly, if you did that, that would be some way to savor like the size of a flea amount of dignity you could have left.
Yep.
Is if you could just admit your wrongdoing.
You've already
You've been caught.
committed to maybe having relations with somebody who's under the age of 18.
Will we ever fuck with you again? No, you're done.
Yeah.
But at least you admitted what you did.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't.
There can be that at least for you.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's a real difficult thing to traverse because sexual sin is, especially of that nature, it destroys, it destroys people, not just those who did it, but those who knew them. And it's just really gross.
Yeah, because on one hand, you have the predator that's still lurking around, which I think that should just be an instant. We take you out back behind the shed. Like, we got 100% proof.
Here's a weird question I have for you guys.
Okay.
A way to prevent this, I think, and this is going to be real touchy. So hang with me on this.
Okay.
This is these kind of feelings that some people have, this darkness that takes over them. It's hidden, it festers. They keep it in the dark until they are compelled to act on it. And my question is, do you think that we would have obviously we can't change the amount of people that somehow come across having these thoughts, but could we affect how many of them actually act on it by having a place where people could go and admit it and them not be completely destroyed by society?
Well,
because because it's really, really bad. But if someone could actually have the courage and the balls to approach a group of men who are, and say, hey, guys, I need to be held accountable. I'm having some really, really twisted thoughts and I don't understand it.
Yeah, we have that.
So that would immediately require us to not instantly put up defensive red flags if presented with that situation.
Well,
'Cause most
obviously, you
people are
can never
gonna-
have him around your children alone again.
Well,
But that's
no.
what holding him accountable does.
Well,
saying
yes,
you have
that's
to.
holding him accountable. But how many people do you think would stand there and listen to his actual thoughts before instantly judging and running away?
We're not called to be judgmental, and I'm not saying look. It's difficult to even like try to have this opinion because I've spent so many years with nothing but violence towards the thought of somebody else doing that. So like I already have this innate rage about it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that what if I'm not really called? I'm not called a judge, and it didn't say except for. I'm not called to judge whatsoever. Only the actions, not the person. If the person doesn't commit any actions, and he says, "Hey,"
He stopped it
let's
before
say
it
one
got
of my
out of
close
control.
friends does this, and he approaches all the guys and says, "Hey guys, I'm really, there's lots of courage to work up saying this to your friends.
Yes.
I'm having some real twisted thoughts, and I need help." You can't even like in today's society, you can't even do that because of the backlash that you would receive
Yes.
just for having the thought.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
what is that going to do? Force you into hiding again.
And then you're just
And
going to
then-
do it from the darkness.
And
It's
that's
like-
not a place to be,
It's like,
especially when you're this
well,
messed
it's
up.
kind of like one of those situations of it's like there's so much drug crime, which obviously a way to combat drug crime is to make drugs legal.
That's so
But
cap.
no,
That's
no,
cap.
No, it's a way to prevent drug crime because if it's not illegal,
Well, it won't be a crime,
then,
I guess.
well, no, because look at like weed. You legalize weed, you can buy it in a store. You're not risking yourself buying it from a dealer. Obviously, I'm not advocating for drugs being illegal. Obviously,
Yeah, Oregon
but
showed
it's just
us.
one of those situations where it's like,
Oh, but you trust the government to give you good stuff?
right,
No.
no, it's not even that. It's just more so of a sense of how do you stop a problem that you can't exactly control.
Mhm.
You can't. See, that's the thing. That's why I believe solemnly that those people that will come up and admit it, we give them a quick death. Okay? Because there is no rehabilitation
That's not true.
for child rapists.
You can't
That's not
necessarily
true.
fix what you find sexually attractive. Usually, some sense of
that depends on what your-
retains your whole life.
It depends on what your viewpoint is on what causes you to have sexual desires. And if you don't believe in a religious entity of some kind and you think that we're all just on a floating rock in the middle of space and it's just instinct, maybe. But some people can, our brains are extremely like the neuroplasticity of our brains is
Yeah, I was about to
extremely
say, Try
strong.
this again. You failed at this the last time. Try this again.
The ability for your brain to alter and change is high. And I don't think it's fair to say somebody couldn't change because people all the time people talk about how, I once was this way and now I'm this way. It's not just sexual desire. This can be taken
It's not
to
instantaneous.
maybe not, but if you know it's wrong and you don't understand why your brain is being affected by it, because if you're able to step back and say this is wrong, why? For the same reason somebody might say, I've been watching porn. I know this is wrong.
Right.
Why? The same goes for that guy. If he can't admit it to somebody and get help and begin to think another way
He's
and
gonna
change
suffer in the
himself,
darkness.
he's going to suffer in the darkness. I don't think killing him for admitting it is the right move.
Because then I will say that discourages anybody from admitting it. Because they say,
Exactly.
I saw what happened to that guy, and then I saw what happened to that guy. I don't want to be that guy.
I'm,
So
going,
just
I'm
gonna
going to
shut
sit in the
fuck up.
darkness, fester, and then now this is going to provoke even more.
Actually, I would believe that it would become a form of martyrdom. Think about it.
You're saying they would
They
death
would have the
is too-
courage to come up and stop themselves, like let's say the Unabomber or the Boston Bombers. If they would have just killed themselves instead, how would they have been looked at? They would have been looked at as poor, sad souls that, golly gee whiz.
I still think that people who actually act on it are poor, sad souls, and their
No,
wickedness
they're
has
fucking
consumed
monsters. There's a
Sure.
difference.
No, because me personally, I separate what somebody does from they themselves. And if somebody commits acts of atrocity, that is a wicked soul that lost their way in this walk of life. I don't think that.
And there's
that-
always redemption. You
Yeah,
can
see,
always
I don't-
find redemption.
I
I
don't
mean,
believe that.
even this. I think that murder is worse than
Nope.
rape.
Pedophilia? Oh, okay.
No.
And because of this, Paul, a guy from the Bible, murdered a bunch of people, and he was like, he was essentially one of the direct causes of it. And God still chose him to carry out very important messages to churches.
Yes. Because
So
yes.
Paul, but Paul, by your definition, he should have said, you know what, I'm doing this, and I should just kill myself so I don't do it anymore, instead of rely on God and surrender my ego and myself, my being to God, and let Him change me.
I do
Yeah,
want to
but-
stop you. Why do you think murder is worse? Like, was that your reason why?
Yeah.
Why is murder worse than rape? Like, what is so? I'm not meaning this in a very. This is gonna sound stupid. What's so bad about murder?
seriously?
Taking somebody's life.
But if death is irrelevant, taking their life shouldn't matter.
It's
Because they lived a
not,
full life.
It's not completely irrelevant. You know, death is you no longer have the ability to make changes because if somebody, you know, hasn't found their way to the light yet in life, and you strike them down, they don't have any more chances.
I mean, okay, that could be the same thing about a dude in his 40s who just kills over and dies
and
from a heart attack.
you're also if you're the mother of the person that you murdered, you've taken their child. If
Mhm.
if you raped, you really screwed their child up, but you didn't take their child from them, and they still have their kid.
No, they don't.
Maybe in a different way. But
victims of-
people,
Victims
that
of
changes
actions,
you.
yeah.
it
that
does change, but that
changes
doesn't
you.
mean that they don't eventually recover and heal.
Not
But,
everyone.
okay, well, here's the thing: recovery and heal. That don't mean you'll be the same person.
Well, there's lots of look when you step into a river.
If I gash my arm completely open, it's gonna heal, yes. But my arm is now gonna just have a line down it,
And it
because
could-
it's not gonna look the same.
And it could just also turn fucking gangrene.
It could,
and
and I
poison.
lose it.
Yeah,
and you
now murder.
and you
if-
adapt, and you can still find the light.
Oh
And-
yeah, I'm not saying you can't.
So,
I'm just saying
but
that
if you step
it
into a river,
changes you.
if you step into a river, then step out, and then step into the and you wait a couple days and you step into the river. It's not the same river, and you're not the same man. You're going to change regardless of how, you know, drastic of a change is. You're going to change frequently throughout your life in many different categories, and yes, it's going to change somebody because it's psychological. It can be there's psychological damage. There could be physical damage, reputational damage.
Oh, my reputation.
Well, yeah, that matters to a lot of people when people like look at you differently.
And here's the thing. It doesn't matter to a lot of people that go and do something so blindly stupid and fuck it up. That means you are not grateful and don't care about your reputation. If you go and do that, but then scream, "Oh, I was such a looked highly upon guy. My reputation is ruined." You don't care about your reputation, because if you actually cared, you wouldn't do bad, dark things that could taint it.
That's why it can't be about reputation or your ego or yourself. It's greater than that, and you have to step back and take a look at that. You have to realize that there's something bigger at work, and I don't think that judging somebody for the evil and wicked things, you know, that they've done is what we're called to do as people.
No, I'm
yeah,
not saying
no,
that.
yeah. That's why we don't have court systems or juries or lawyers.
Well, that's because there's
or
also
prosecutors.
the law of the world, and just because
law
I
is-
don't think
and
you're
that's the
eternally
thing.
damned doesn't mean that you get to just, while you're still on earth, get away with it. Something of this measure.
No. But at the same time, it's like, just because we have laws don't mean shit. We made those laws.
Yes, but,
We
for a
decided what
reason.
was
For a
right.
reason,
Well,
because
yes, it was for a
if
reason.
somebody kills somebody else, do I think that they are 100% going to hell and there's no way they can ever be redeemed? No, I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah, but
But
that's
they also
context.
they also, due to the law and due to society, they can no longer be allowed to just freely roam.
Right.
Yeah, but
That's
here's
valid.
here's
but,
the
Which
thing.
is what-
but only reason that we look upon that as bad and punishable is because we dub it that way.
Well, you guys are also missing the biggest point here. It's context. If you murder somebody, there is a slew of reasons. A slew of reasons.
There's no reason to rape anybody.
Not once in the history of man has there ever been a
A
point.
good reason.
Yeah, there's not been one.
There's been plenty of good reasons to kill somebody.
Oh yeah, plenty.
there is. I mean, there
There-
are plenty of good reasons. Should you do it? No. But I mean, like,
If
I mean,
a smackhead's
what is
breaking
what
you,
is a war? If I'm a soldier in a war, a good reason to kill somebody is so they don't kill me, so I can go home.
or somebody breaks into your
Well, that's
house.
not. But at that point, that's not murder.
What is the
What-
difference?
that is still murder. I'm not saying it's a
To
little.
defend a defensive.
It's
a
still
defen-
murder. You
to-
still took a life.
That is
Mur-
murder
mur-
is taking a life without
Murder
with no just cause.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
Let's say you get drunk and
No.
you go driving, right? And you hit an old lady with your car. Now you're drunk. You did not mean at
Manslaughter.
one point.
But it's still murder.
But
boil it down.
by well, you drove impaired, so yeah, because you did that, it would be classified as
Then your brakes went out or something like that.
manslaughter
You're-
under the influence. But
I mean, it's like if you're out going hunting with your family and someone accidentally walks in front of your gun and you shoot them, did you technically not murder them? 'cause
you didn't murder
mean
them.
to do it?
You didn't murder them.
Yes, you did.
It's manslaughter.
by the letter of the law.
It's manslaughter because we dub it that way, just like it's murder because we dub it that
well, then what's
way.
you have to ask yourself what's the definition of murdering somebody? Because if you
Take-
accidentally
the
kill
act of
somebody,
the act of taking a life
I don't
is
think
murder.
I don't think that's the case.
That might be killing, but technically, we're at this point we're just splitting hairs.
That's what I'm saying.
Again,
We're comparing apples to apples here.
yeah, seriously though, because like honestly, again,
Unlawful, intentional killing of one human being by another without a valid legal justification,
Okay,
Interesting.
which is
And who
different.
gets to
So
choose?
that's well, for example, if you're there with your whole family and everybody saw that somebody accidentally got shot, and they all vouch and say, "Hey, this
Right.
was not intentional,"
Okay. Yeah, that's valid.
then yeah, it's not murder.
That's valid.
okay,
That's
so,
what I was getting at.
Okay, again, it feels like splitting hairs because I guarantee you that if I told you somebody raped somebody that I knew, your first thought isn't going to be,
Why?
well, technically, was it oral or was it hand?
Well, that's still rape.
stuff
It's
or-
all rape.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Also, your first question's not going to be why, because there's no reason
Well, of
you
course,
can
I would never
possibly
ask
give.
why. Sure. It's because I would. That's an insensitive and disrespectful
That's
question
why
to
I
ask.
don't look at like murder as worse than sexual deviancy,
Yeah,
because sometimes, and here's the thing, what if there's somebody that is committing sexual deviancy and raping somebody and you come across it and I remember I was watching one of the episodes of this and y'all were talking about the ability to act. Sometimes the ability to act involves killing that person because sometimes people just don't stop. So
Well, that just depends on who
where's
you,
the moral high ground with that?
it
Because
just
you
depends on
also
how delusional your
actively-
faith is at that point, on what other options are on the table besides killing somebody. If you don't have any higher power that you are believing in and believe can handle situations such as that,
Well, higher
then
power
you're-
can't stop somebody coming at you with murderous intent.
that's not true. Depends.
You know, you guys are talking about a deity that literally killed the entire fucking planet, right? You
Well,
guys-
that's because there was not a single soul on the planet, excluding one that wasn't wicked.
Oh yeah,
But
all
there
the
was a
kids-
chance that they could have seen the light. There's
Of
always a chance that they
redemption.
can
Not
see
not
the
at,
light.
not at that time. There wasn't, because there was nobody to show them the light other than God Himself.
God didn't forget to put
didn't,
in the
but-
patch notes.
Well, that's
he
that's
showed,
that's
he
that's,
showed them the light by taking it away.
that's just the damnation of free will, the ability, and that's just kind of how that played
right.
out.
No, absolutely. The free will is it can be damning because I mean it's
Why
free
even give us
will.
the fucking option then? If
Well-
it's love you or burn in a fiery pit, then why the fuck?
Because I don't think that I actually recently have been altering my opinion of that. I don't think that hell is what we
Yeah,
are.
it's not eternal. It can't be eternal.
Exactly. That's what
It
I'm
can't be.
And here's why. Because God is all knowing and all loving. If God is a figure of absolute love, then there can't be a pocket dimension in the universe where people are suffering forever,
Not
because He at
forever.
once knew that He knew them in the womb,
Mhm.
and that soul was pure and innocent, and that will eventually be redeemed and
like-
put into the oneness of God.
It's like the prison system. You're supposed to go to jail, serve your time, and then you get another shot at,
Exactly.
doing it right.
But
when you
that
come
does
out.
not mean by any means that you shouldn't be worried about going to what hell
Exactly,
is, because
'cause
it's
it's
still
gonna
going to be
suck
ridiculously
balls.
it's going to be like unfathomably
It's gonna
horrendous.
suck balls. It's not even gonna be hot. It's gonna be. I imagine hell is like the worst day of your life that your soul ever experienced, played over and over again, a little bit differently each time,
I mean,
but over and over.
Think
and
about
over.
like whenever you hear the story of Christ and He goes through people hating Him, spitting on Him, He gets tortured, and then He's the peak, the pinnacle of His suffering was God feeling the absence of God.
Mhm.
He was dealing with the suffering up until that moment. And that's when He actually said something against what He was trying. He said, "Why have you forsaken me?" he caught a glimpse of what it would be like to be apart from God, and that's just, he took that for us. But we're not going. That doesn't mean that you're not going to feel it. Just, you don't have to feel it forever because of Christ.
Look, what I'm trying to get at here. First off, a blood sacrifice unto yourself to appease yourself for something that you made is fucking bullshit. There was better ways.
No, it's he took on what we would have had to take on had he not been there for us. He was the propitiation for the sins of the world.
And he didn't cover all of them.
He covered all of them.
No, because we still have them, stupid.
Well, that doesn't, just because he came doesn't mean we stopped. It just means that there's a path to redemption regardless.
Why wouldn't you just get rid of them?
AK Baby Do, St. John, does this sound familiar?
Oh yeah. Ding 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 ding
Ding, 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 ding.
Bible fights?
Actually, I'm gonna pivot. I don't want to be.
I don't want to be on a
stuck
topic
here.
that has already been discussed.
Yeah, we've delved into this a time or two. Let's see. We have another topic, don't we? Oh yes. We're gonna pivot a little here and talk about seduction and why and how it sells. So El Jerado, we've been on a mission, as you know, to become more popular than A&T.
A&T, noble fight.
And
Very difficult,
it's
but noble fight.
Indeed, it's an arduous challenge that we have decided to undertake. And you know, we have to look at it from a psychological perspective. Here, people will buy something if somebody attractive to them is selling it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the way that the
absolutely.
world has been working for quite some time.
Men, women, all alike are prone to the weakness of temptation.
So my question is, how do we break that cycle? Because there's two things you have to ask.
We got to stop putting so much emphasis in pussy. As guys, listen, like it's nice, right? It's nice, but
El Jerado.
it's not the
saying
end
what
all
needs to be
bend
said.
all. It's not the end all be all, right? It's not everything. Like, yes, obviously, you're supposed to reproduce.
What did Kendrick say? Put that pussy on a pedestal.
That's what I'm saying,
That
bro.
pussy to death.
The moment you start worshiping a body part,
Idol. Having another idol in your life, you can't serve two
that
masters.
instantly gives the possessor of said body part the ability to judge you, because
And control you.
If you put something on a pedestal, it will look down upon you. So guys, and I'm saying this to all the guys out there that may or may not be watching, stop
Take
obsessing
pussy off the
over pussy.
pedestal.
That's what I'm saying.
But-
If you get some, awesome, great for you. But that's not the end all be all.
It's not truly the pinnacle of the human experience, and lots of guys would believe that it is.
Yes.
It's really not the
How
pinnacle.
many people do you know that say I went to college to get bitches? There's some people who exclusively went to college for college parties and to go fuck.
Dude, I've seen the chicks in our hometown. That's a sum total of zero game.
Well, I mean, we don't have a college here, bro.
We have one, maybe UT Martin.
Well, okay, it's an extension. It is technically a college, but we don't have like a.
It isn't the
free
campus
hard
itself.
It's not a
Yeah,
campus.
yeah, I
Like,
hear
but, like
you.
that's what but in my opinion, that's a college. If it has a campus, it's a college.
So-
If it doesn't, it's a learning institution.
Here's a little brainstorm session. What could we possibly replace it with in terms of marketing? Because
a
what
good
could
product.
but clearly that doesn't matter. If a good product would fix this solution, there's lots of good products
Not
out there.
necessarily. How many times have you bought something because you saw either somebody who is famous or attractive? The product comes in and you're like, bro, like, this looks like it was made in my
I don't
grandma's
know.
basement.
The Shaq gummies were pretty good, so he was on to something.
like every now and then you get a banger, but like most cases, it's just a product with a famous person's face on it. Seth Rogen's weed strain is not made from Seth Rogen. It's made by just your average Joe Schmo and just has Seth Rogen's name on it.
Wait, so Tegrity weed isn't grown
Tegrity
by
weed is not grown by Tegrity, bro. It is grown by Omaha Farms, and it was just named Tegrity.
That's
They have no integrity.
They don't.
so.
That's what I'm saying.
So you truly think that a good product without good marketing is never going to reach the heights it could
But
possibly
here's the
reach? And
thing,
anybody
here's the
that
thing.
wants to sell that product is going to put, You know, there was the whole Sydney Sweeney debacle with the jeans.
Well, that's exactly how America was sold into debt. Kevin Hart came out with the platinum credit card, and Samuel L. Jackson came out with the "What's in Your Wallet," and they used that, and it indebted. And I'm not saying they did it because they didn't. People signed up for the card and then used it irresponsibly, which a lot of people are to a default irresponsible. There's a reason why you have to learn to be responsible, because it's challenging to do if you're learning to do it.
Mhm.
That's why if you've never had responsibility when you were younger, it's hard to learn it as an adult, because it is something that has to be learned. And most of the country is not very responsible, Mr. Frick. Not very responsible at all.
And that's because, in my opinion, it's because of the public schooling system. I think that the shift to letting your children be gone 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 12 years. I think that if you're letting somebody else school your kids and spending way more time with them than the actual parent spending time, it really causes a divide.
Yeah, but one second. One second. First off, the marketing thing. Why sex sells? Because we have monkey brains.
We do.
We have synapses and chemicals, hormones, all that floating
Dopamine,
through our
for sure.
shit. And dude, I don't care who you are. If you see a nice pair,
And be like, damn.
exactly. It's not because we're trying to be pigs. I mean, there are guys. Don't get me wrong.
There are guys that are like, ooh.
Oh
Let me
my
get that stick.
You're like 7 feet tall. I wish you'd tell me something.
Hey, bro, your sex appeal was selling to her, bro. You were,
Bro,
bro,
if
you
only
were
I had a
putting-
product, bro.
You were
Oh, you
putting
had the
out
product.
an amazing marketing campaign for that woman, bro.
If you could sell crack addict sticks,
Like,
then
bro,
you can really
I
fix the
gu-
problems of the lower
I
class America.
guarantee you, Isaac, you could have asked her for some money, and she would have given you like the 5 pennies she had in her pocket.
Now let me get
Dude.
at least a two.
Now let me get that about 5 pennies worth of that stick, boy.
Shoot.
Fucking. You get no more shit, no refunds.
Oh, hell no.
But like another thing too, with the whole schooling problem, we have not taught our kids. I would never ever want to teach my kids. You know why?
Because you are
Stupid.
in line with the stupid.
I flunked everything, okay? Why would you go with what I say?
But why did you flunk everything?
Because
And
I
what
didn't-
did you flunk that was
because-
necessary?
Because well, here's the thing. I realized that all of these things that I am learning and putting all of this time and energy towards have no effect on my life except a letter on a sheet. The stuff that matters is not taught. Now, I understand most people don't know how to do their own taxes, but you'd think they would find a teacher that did so they could teach people to do it. That's kind of how you start the trend of people knowing how to do their own taxes, is you sit down and teach them how to do it, but they don't do that.
It also blows my mind that there aren't more ethics classes in early
earlier
middle
years.
school or something like that. Because I mean, whenever I got onto the high school scene, dude, it was a straight jungle, man. And I mean that because it was so wild. It was like some of these kids have never had an ounce of morality instilled in them a day in their life. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think that more important than being, just the top of the line intelligent person, I think that foundation has got to be ethics and morality. Otherwise, you're not going to be raising children that can apply their intelligence to the right
a lot
situations.
of it too comes from the fact of nobody fails.
Not anymore.
Nobody fails anymore. You don't fail.
That's
You
true.
just go on to the
Kids
next
getting
grade.
pushed through and given
just
a
get
50.
pushed
A
through.
teacher got fired for saying
It's
that
just
they
the
told the
daycare.
teacher that if the kid doesn't turn something in, instant 50.
And
And
he got
the teacher said, "No, I'm going to give him zeros."
You
And he got
see,
fired for that. He's still in
or
business.
or either nobody fails or the assignments just run through AI, and so you don't actually do it.
Yeah.
You see that teacher that he issued an assignment on a test that was like a make or break test fail question or
Mhm.
whatever. And in white ink, so you can't see white ink on white paper. White ink, he mention the word pineapple in some way, shape, or form. And then he was surprised that all but 2 papers were just loaded with stuff about pineapples because the AI caught that invisible text to the eye. and so put it in the thing. So he caught
That was funny.
all but 2 people of his class cheating,
Yeah,
and they all failed.
Oh,
Yeah, but
hey,
you can't-
Ian, we have a recurring chat member. Hannah has returned from last week.
Hannah!
Hey, Anna.
We've had a loaded chat so far this evening. It's been pretty awesome.
I was about to say it's
been popping off.
It's been popping, bro.
We've been having a good time around here.
But no,
like-
nobody fails. AI is incentivized.
Yeah, but you can't blame the kids for that. You
well,
can't
no,
put-
you can't blame the kids. You got to blame the parents who just teach them that if you put a phone in front of a problem, it fixes it.
Well, now you have to ask yourself: don't blame the kids, blame the parents. Don't blame the parents, blame their parents. How far back is that? How is the blame game going to solve any
okay.
of
The
that?
only way to stop it is for me right now to say I'm not going to blame my parents. I'm going to teach my child right, no matter what.
And if you instead of letting the government and the public school system and other kids who are learning vastly different things than what you'd want your child to learn, if you put them into that environment, they're going to adapt to that and not to what you have to say, because you only have a small amount. In hindsight, I mean, I think about this. The amount of time I've had with my dad in comparison to the amount of time I'm thinking about having with my son, vastly different.
So much
more.
So much different.
And I just really, it's like, I know that the homeschooling gets a bad rep because, kids come out
Weird.
socially
Socially weird.
strange.
The homeschool route is not the answer.
But
It's not the
I
answer.
think that homeschooling them without an outlet to be social. This is why I've been so big on community recently, and it's that if you're homeschooling your kid with your community's kids also, and they're all together, they're not going to come out. They're going to have social interactions. They're going to be instilled with the correct morals, and you're going to know what's going into their
So what
brains. And what's going into the kids' brains that are with them also, they're all going to be oriented in the same direction, and you
look
can
at
rest easy.
What if you fix the issue by reintroducing the issue? What if we, instead of having teachers whose job it is to give information out to impressionable people?
Oh, we have. Sorry, I need to interrupt
you're
you.
good.
We also have to make a shout out. The girlfriends are watching.
They are.
El
they
Jerado's
are,
lady, my lady, Furman's lady.
They
They're all.
are. They are
They're all,
tuned in.
Your lady's in the chat, bro. Your lady's in the chat, even
But,
if it's St. John.
Oh, also shout out Young Money.
Oh, Young Money.
Young Money,
I know-
shout out.
He's the son of the Dr. Pepper CEO. He's been in contact. He may make his way onto the show soon to really give us the layout on the financial scene of
But where was
Coca-Cola. Please continue. I
I?
apologize.
Where was I? No, you're good.
Reintroducing the problem.
Reintroducing
Mm-hmm.
the. Well, what if we had kind of like a community, right? A community of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one person's job out of that community to teach the kids that were around there, not for payment, not for life, but because it was
Passion.
her calling.
Passion. Yeah.
And I believe if you do something because it's your calling and out of your passion, even though money is a big motivator, it don't trump passion.
Well, and also, if you have a community, money becomes, the bigger the community becomes and the more self-reliant it
money
becomes, the more and
matters.
more money becomes obsolete, which I think is a major goal.
Well, see, this is a problem that you guys have not thought of. It just occurred to me. Now, what if we had a community of people that went to school to learn a particular topic, right? And we gather all those people up and we put them in a building. And then we take the kids and we put them in that building with people that we trust that went to school to learn it.
Yeah, but how can you really
My
trust?
only problem
I'm
is
not going to
that-
trust people who are getting paid $20,000 a year to be
I'm not
passionate.
saying I don't.
And they're also having to deal with whatever the government's pushing them to teach.
My issues with the public school system is it could be great, but the fact that most teachers and like I said, money isn't everything. But when the people that are literally teaching the next generation aren't even making $50,000 a year, then why
Why are we not placing more of a value
why are we
on
not
that?
putting a value on teachers? Because I mean, gonna be honest, I know your opinions on someone else teaching your kid. I'm gonna add a little asterisk to it. Would you want someone teaching your kid who is unhappy with their life?
Mhm.
No, but
No.
it's the same
Right.
thing with cops.
No.
But we can't add more money to the problem because that's what happened with doctors. We decided that is a service that everyone needs.
And now we have too many doctors.
No, we have really expensive doctors.
That too.
Do you think a kid in a class where
You're
a
not
guy's
paying
getting
for the operation. You're paying for the time.
that's not the point. You're also paying for like the
You're paying-
schooling that he
you're
went
paying-
through.
yeah, exactly. You're
So-
paying his
so-
medical, you're paying his student loan bill.
Yes, but you're also paying a person to babysit basically 180 kids a year.
Oh yeah, they should be top priority when it comes to income. If the public school route is the way to go, they should be top priority when it comes to divvying out income.
So guys, we're at the 9 o'clock mark. We've been going for a solid hour and a half. It's been a good time. I think to close out, I'm gonna ask the chat to present us with a final topic for the evening.
Final topic.
We have enough chat to actually,
we're playing chat
ask.
roulette.
Chat roulette, bro.
I think
the
it's
first episode of chat roulette.
Indeed, chat roulette.
That's a new
Chat,
thing.
please send in your topic ideas
I think
right
it'll be
this
better than
second.
Hedonist
First
of the
one
Week.
we see,
Yeah.
unless it's
Be the
terrible,
thing,
we
chat
are going
roulette.
to spam that topic with full force. We didn't even research any of it, so we're
I
about to
say
be.
whatever gets
let's be locked
presented is
in.
whatever I'm saying,
So we.
and I'm a loose cannon.
Well, do you think that like if we paid cops super good, like they
I
wouldn't
see.
they wouldn't crime it up?
Well, a lot of the reason there is conspiracy
So-
with cops is because of the underpayment.
So,
too.
so hey
What do you
Spencer.
got, Frick?
So it seems like our girlfriends want to be the topic.
Oh,
no.
okay.
So you guys are about to be single.
I was
It's so
about to say,
good.
like, Isaac, baby, it was nice knowing you. If this is the topic,
I once found a
time.
tampon on my ceiling.
Oh wait, hold on.
listen. So, babe, the
WB
underwear
Carol.
drawer, not cutting it.
So here are the three topics to close out with: our girlfriends and your hair. So
My hair.
It's
I
so
wonder who
pretty.
dropped that luscious topic.
it would be WB Carroll 183. WB Carroll, welcome to the podcast. We're really grateful to have
WB
your.
Carroll. Why does that name sound so familiar?
I have no idea, but I'm grateful
Dude,
to
your
have more
eyebrows are
folks
so
in the
fucking
chat. So let's
You
lead with
just realized that?
Spencer. You and me both. We're both. We've been with our girls for over a year. You a little bit longer than that, I believe, and
Well longer than that.
well longer. And them as a topic. Being in a relationship with somebody who's oriented with the same goals. Do you see yourself in the near future like changing any of your goals majorly that could affect that relationship?
I mean, do I see it happening? No, but do I see the possibility that it could happen? I mean, anything's possible.
Right.
I mean, there's every chance in the world that I get this really good job, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden I'm home a lot less, and then that could, change a goal of where we want to be at, because now we have to instantly deal with the hurdle of more work.
Right.
So I just honestly think just if we navigate it carefully, then everything should play out relatively okay.
No, it's like
Right.
Captain Barbosa said, you're a pirate. You can't be afraid of getting wet.
Exactly.
Well, also,
exactly.
whenever
Like,
you're in
you
a
gotta
relation-
commit, bro.
When you're in a relationship with somebody, you're no longer able to just drastically change the direction that you want to go without thinking about how it's going to affect them. And
Exactly.
I'm-
Like you're thinking, like your decision now impacts somebody else.
exactly.
Folks, he's just discovered. Try not to be a dick to someone you
Well,
have to
no,
live
Don't
with.
that's
be
not
an
what
asshole.
That's not what I was getting at. I mean more so, if you're making a decision that is changing the game for your life,
Right.
it's also changing the game of their lives.
Well, it's also to an extent of like you can't judge one couple the same way. Like for an example, right? There's these people I know who are married, and if you ask them, hey, when your anniversary is, they'll go, fuck I know, fuck if I know, it's sometime in March, maybe.
It might be the only useful tattoo to get, just your anniversary on your
No,
hip.
like,
just make
So
sure.
it's also like not every couple is gonna have the same goals. Like one couple could have a completely different like language than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
You know.
I've known very successful polycule couples, like 5-6 people, and those people make it work. I don't understand it. I don't get it, but they make it work. And I've also seen single couples.
Okie dokie then.
Well, I'm just saying, dude.
Polycule?
Oh yeah,
Listen,
that's
guys,
that's like 5 or
the
6.
moment an extra person is introduced after the fourth, it's just an orgy at that point. After 4 people, it's an orgy. I hate to
Indeed.
break it to you.
That's a false graves fact.
That is
Indeed.
a actual like, El Gerado. I approve this message.
Fucking.
If there's more than 4 people,
But,
it's
like,
an orgy.
Yeah, the
Again.
final thing I want to say on our girlfriends is that I may be Frick, but without my licious, it's who am I really? You're my licious baby girl. Love
You're a
that.
homeless person in our studio.
That might also be true. That might also be true.
Welcome to your new home, my man.
All right, and Furman,
Yes.
your thoughts on Spencer's? Almost went.
He looks like a young Tom Sawyer.
Who is
like,
this
really.
Spencer person
Yeah,
you talk
Spencer,
about?
my homie that you met the other day.
Oh yeah.
His hair completely ugly. Okay, now this guy's El
I was
Jerado's
about to say,
hair.
there's this dude named Spencer, and
The
he
gold-
has
where the
really
gold-
atrocious hair, bro.
Yeah, he's also kind of a dick.
So I've heard. I don't really know him that well, but you know.
Yeah, that's kind of what you want to do with dicks. You don't really.
You don't really want to know him or be faithful.
I don't want to know what you'd want to do with dicks, Furman. Let me be completely honest. But
Honestly, I would take a bag of dicks and beat somebody to death with it.
Okay,
that's I
you
was
say-
really
you say-
afraid of where we were
say-
going there.
Oh my
Anyway.
god, bro.
But yeah, no, it's like you ever seen the band Rush? Like the lead singer with like the fucking Motley Crue ass hair.
I've gotten 3 names that have constantly appeared. I've gotten Sebastian Bach, I've gotten Slash, and before it got real long, I got Tom Petty for a while.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So
He's a heartbreaker, all right.
I got three studs that are backing me up, but unfortunately, the hair may not be as long lasting as what people want it to be. Because
Speaking
this hair has been existed for 4 years.
in a,
It's long past over.
a wonderful 4 years it's been. Speaking of hair, we've also got Abraham from The Walking Dead in our midst. The mutton chops, will they stay?
Mother dick.
Actually, I'm thinking about keeping it. Doing like a Lemmy thing.
I think that you need to shave the mustache
I
and just
think you
go
need to
go
let
go
it-
full rock and roll, dog.
You need to let them grow like you can braid them. That way
Oh.
you like Sheamus from WWE.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
Ah,
Shameless.
Oh, dude,
that's kind of
Shameless.
his
There
thing.
you go.
Oh, dude, that's even better because like I'm starting to get patches like streaks of white in my hair because usually drug use will do that to you. So now it's gonna look like a
Huh.
Christmas pole.
I always just kind of thought that was natural, but good to know that.
Yeah.
Good to know where I'm headed.
Yeah,
And then
32.
I've also decided to not shave in the past 2 to 3 weeks.
I shaved.
I don't know whether or
yesterday.
not it's coming, but
Dude, I know mine's got a long while. That's why I shaved before I.
I
woke up
I
this
can't
morning.
tell if I want to go full beard because that would keep me from having to shave my face and get bumps all the time. But I know that once it gets to a certain point, it's just gonna curl and I'm gonna look really Amish, and I'm not excited for that.
Well, not to mention me and you. Well, all 3 of us here have the curse of going to have a red beard.
Mm.
All
don't-
3
I
of
don't-
us here.
It's a strange curse because now
It's-
like the
you're
hair on my
calico.
head is not
You're
matching.
calico.
It's very strange.
It's very calico-esque.
Well, guys, I think we've really covered a lot of really good topics here tonight.
We have.
We've had a
we
good
have.
conversation. We've had some laughs.
Some excellent bringage of light.
I think
Some
that
darkness.
on this, here's what I want to ask before we sign off. We've been walking down this golden road towards the the Golden Temple to where El Jerado has staked his claim, and I want to ask to you, how are you going to bring the light moving forward?
Don't.
Your
do it.
day-to-day
Don't do it.
light bringing.
To hit you with a big old dose of reality. Bitch, what the fuck are you doing? You need to get your shit straight. Because what
Tough
you're
light.
doing
Mm.
is not right. Act up and do better.
That is
That is my light bringing approach.
that is some bright material.
It is because
give you
sometimes you have to put the fear of the darkness in them because the darkness is scary. Even if you don't know what the darkness is,
Mhm.
sometimes it's intimidating.
It is scary to think about how you could have a family member who's just like they think you're going down a really bad path, so they get down on their knees in their closet and they're just like, "Lord, I love them, but I want to pray them into the hands of the devil." I mean, like that could totally be happening to you, and you never even know it. Man.
You couldn't even tell a difference,
Dude, that's where we get pedophiles from.
Dude, that could be the case.
Oh my god, that would be so dark.
Dude,
Could you imagine that just being a prayer?
Mhm.
Please, God, please. Make
I've noticed
Jeffrey
it
down
keeps
the
coming
street.
back to pedophiles a lot. Should we make like a sideshow? Pedophiles in the wild, where we just go and record pedophiles and fuck them up, and not like with words, but with like physical violence.
There's,
I mean, I'm
there
down
is
for
there
that.
is some light bringing to that. I don't know how bright it is, but there's some light
there's
there.
gonna be plenty
I'll
of
tell you
light when the
that.
flashlight of my camera is recording them getting pummeled.
Oh, dude, I got paintball guns.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
yes.
dude, and they will learn their lesson.
All right, well, guys, it's been a wonderful podcast. False Graves strikes again. We'll be back here at 7:30 next week. Hope to see you guys there. I'm your host, Frickalicious. Don't trip in the darkness.
And remember, I am the fur man. Stay positive, test negative.
And when the night goes bright, always be bright.
Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. 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 Brush your teeth every day. Oh, don't play too many games. Oh, only 3 hours a day. Oh, respect your parents. Okay. Oh, love your mom, love your dad. Always say please and thank you. Oh, you can say words like fucking shit and I'll come to your house and spank you.